Hi guys, Ashur the Demon here, and in this video I will talk about a forgotten D and why because of this person Law might end up betraying the Straw Hats. As an extension, I will also talk about another D as well as another possible D in this theory. Also, on a side note, Law will not betray the Straw Hats for Kaido. Even if it looks like Law has completely betrayed the Straw Hats for Kaido, Oda will find a way to make it look like what Law did there was just to help the Straw Hats, not to betray them. Now, coming to this forgotten D. This is a character that has already been introduced in the story, but hardly anyone talks about this character. But I feel this D is far more important than what Oda has led us to believe, which is why he has subtly made us forget about this character. Now, cutting right to the chase, who is the forgotten D? The answer to that question is Lamy. Now, if you are wondering who the hell is Lamy, well, her full name is Trafalgar D Water Lammy. She is Law's biological sister. Since Law is a D, she is automatically a D. Also, since Law is a D, one or both of his parents are Ds, making them the other two Ds I was talking about earlier. Now that I have told you who this forgotten D is, the next thing you guys will be thinking is, how the hell will dead characters make Law betray the Straw Hats? Well, that's it. We only saw the dead bodies of Law's parents, not Law's sister. The last time we saw Lamy, it was in the hospital where Law hid her. When he came back to the hospital, we saw the hospital in flames. Because of this, Law assumed she died there, and so did we. So, Lamy was last seen in the closet of a hospital, which was burned to the ground. Even if she managed to somehow escape that, there was no way she could have gotten far because she was really sick and could barely run. And there was guards everywhere torching everyone in sight, thus making it impossible for her to have survived. I think Oda has really gotten out of his way in making us think that she died. But since Oda wants us to believe that she is dead, I think she survived. So, why do I think Lamy is alive? Well, if this was some other anime where presumed dead characters do not come back alive, then we could say that she died. But this is One Piece, and Oda will not kill characters just like that. Oda did the same for Sabo, Pagaya, and even Pell. They survived even when the chances for survival was nearly zero. Even for the Going Merry, a ship, Oda did the same thing. So until a person's dead body is shown, we cannot assume that the character is dead. Same goes for Pedro, Pound, etc. Until we see their dead bodies, we cannot really know whether they have actually died. This is like a Schrodinger's cat. Until the character's dead body is shown, we need to be open to the possibility that the character is both alive and dead at the same time. So that is why, even if there is an insignificantly small chance for her to survive, since we have not seen her dead body, and adding to the fact that she is a D, I feel she survived. Also, since Law lost everything dear to him that day and saw so many atrocities, like his parents' dead bodies, his countrymen slaughtered right in front of him, his city burning to the ground, etc., him finding out that his sister survived all of that will just bring out a different version of Law's character once the story goes forward. This new side of Law will have hope, will have this belief, will be looking at things in a way he has not seen for so long. A Law who is not hell-bent on revenge. A Law who wants to do something different just because he found out his sister is alive will be a completely new, unprecedented way in which Oda can take Law's character arc. So, how could have Lamy survived? Well, to answer this question, there are multiple ways in which she could have survived the fire and maybe have gotten outside the city. She could have just done what Law did, crawled through the dead bodies, etc. Or maybe somebody uh, took pity on her, just like how Aokiji took pity on Robin and allowed her and maybe some children to escape. Or maybe somebody like Law's dad's friend or someone just took her to safety. But the problem is, for Lamy, it is not escaping the city because she just has a few months to live, unlike Law, who had a couple of years to live. Even if she went outside the city, she would just die. There was no point in just going outside the city because there was no cure for her and nobody would even look at her, even if there was a cure. So, unless she found a devil fruit like Law did that could cure her, or a really miraculous doctor who could actually cure her and actually look into her, who her surviving is almost impossible. So, how could have she survived and not just getting outside the city, but lived? So, in an effect, it comes down to this. Lamy needs to find somebody who can cure her, and she needs to know where this person is, and she needs to be taken there directly without all of this hiding so that she can actually reach there in time before she dies. How could this be possible? Well, the only way I can think of is, what if the guards themselves took her? What if the world government needed a few live subjects? And because of that, Lamy was chosen and she was directly taken to the one person who could actually cure her. And if Lamy was actually taken to that person, I think she could have survived. There is a panel where we see that a sister was told by the guards that they will not kill the children. So she rounded up Law's classmates and asked Law to bring his sister so that he can take Law and everyone to safety. But when Law went to the hospital, Lamy had died, and when he came back to the sister, he saw that she, along with all his classmates, were killed. So this begs the question, why did Oda show us this panel? Is it just to make us believe that the children were also not spared, or was there a bigger reason? I think that this panel serves as a subtle foreshadowing by Oda to show us that they indeed took few children so that they could use them as test subjects to find a cure to the disease. And one of the test subjects they chose was Lamy. Also, finally, the person whom I think Lamy was taken to is Vegapunk. Now, why Vegapunk? Well, who else among the world government is known as a person capable of curing diseases which of as of yet does not have any cure? This is further evidenced by the fact that Tashigi did the same when she took the kids from the Punk Hazard to Vegapunk. This is the reason why I believe that Lamy was taken to Vegapunk and he has been slowly extending her life but has still not able to find a way to cure her. So, with that survival of Lamy out of the way, I will come to the next important part of this video. Why and how will Law betray Luffy and the other Straw Hats? As of this theory, the present chapter is chapter 964, and over the course of the last few chapters, Oda has been excessively hinting that Law will betray the Straw Hats. I feel that this might actually be the case, but the difference in what Oda wants us to believe and what I have in this theory is that Law will not betray the Straw Hats for Kaido, but rather for the world government. So, from chapter 964 till Kaido is beaten, Law will not betray the Straw Hats, even if it looks like he has joined Kaido. Law's end goal will be to defeat Kaido, and to achieve that, he might even join Kaido and secretly help the Straw Hats in taking down Kaido from the inside. But once Kaido is defeated, That is when I feel Law will betray the Straw Hats. Why? This is because Law has assured Luffy that he will not betray the Straw Hats, and way back in Punk Hazard Arc chapter 668, Robin even told that alliances end up with betrayal. So, both of these can come true if, at the very end of the arc, after Kaido is beaten, Law betrays Luffy to the world government. Since Luffy has beaten Kaido, the alliance is over, and Law has not betrayed Luffy during the alliance. Also, since the alliance is actually ending with Law's betrayal, Robin's foreshadowing that alliances end up with betrayal will also come true. Also, Luffy and other supernovas are fighting two Yonkos and a possible inclusion of Blackbeard as well. Blackbeard might come at the end to kill Kaido and take his devil fruit. So once the Yonko are taken down by the Luffy, the Marines and world government who wouldn't dare go against Kaido will suddenly find a golden opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. They will have gotten two Yonkos less to deal with. If they can take the credit for defeating them, they will also gain a lot of public support, which they lost because of the Doflamingo Fujitora incident. But the world government will also want to capture Luffy, and now that he has taken Kaido, CP0 would be worried about how strong Luffy is and would want to rope in Law as insurance to capture him. So, how will the world government do it? Well, Orochi demanded Vegapunk at the start of Wano arc for him to continue to give the world government the weapons they need. Fearing Kaido, I think CP0 will comply and we will see Vegapunk being introduced in Wano. Along with him, I feel we'll see quite a few important characters like Smoker, Tashigi, a few other members of CP0, maybe even an admiral like Fujitora, who has promised Luffy and Law's heads to Sakazuki, might also appear. And finally, along with all these characters, we will see Lamy being introduced as well. She will be introduced as Vegapunk's assistant. I think Smoker and Luffy will do their own thing, so will Zoro and Tashigi. And the members of CP0, on the other hand, I think will want to talk to Law, and they will make a deal with them. The deal will be Luffy in exchange for Lamy. Law, I feel, will be shocked to find out at first that Lamy is alive, and then he will reluctantly agree to the CP0's demands. After the battle against Kaido, when Luffy is really weak, Law will sell out Luffy to the CP0 and they will give Lamy to him. Also, on a side note, when Law was imprisoned by Hawkins, the people who freed Law could actually be the CP0. So, after 15 years, Law will finally have Lamy with him. But without Vegapunk, Lamy will be really weak and she will not have much longer to live. Seeing Lamy very close to dying, Law will perform the perennial youth surgery on her and save her by sacrificing himself. Now, why would Law sacrifice himself for her? Well, first reason is obvious, is because he is her older brother and it is kind of his duty to do so. Apart from the obvious reason, the other reason is the way in which Lamy's disease acts. The older she gets, the worse off she becomes. So if he performs the eternal youth surgery on her, she will not become older, thereby her disease can't act further. So if he performs the eternal youth surgery on her and treats however best he can, she won't be suffering from the disease anymore. Or she won't become any worse from the disease anymore. With Law dead, I think she will follow in the footsteps of Law and lead the Heart Pirates. Then, to get revenge against the world government, she might join the Straw Hats in an attempt to rescue Luffy, who will be captured by the world government. And there, she might defeat the CP0, because of whom her brother sacrificed himself. Further, Doflamingo mentioned that to use the national treasure in Marijoa, one must be the recipient of the eternal youth surgery. So, if Law performs the surgery on her, she might be able to use it. This gives her one more purpose in the story and also tie in the thread that was opened by Oda. After that, she might join the fleet or she might going her own way, forming a stronger crew, and see her towards the end of the story. Further, she is a D. She is also around the same age as Luffy. Because of that, she might be a potential love interest to Luffy. I feel her chances of being Luffy's love interest will be higher than Boa or even Nami. So, I think we have finally found whom Luffy will end up with and bear Luffy's child. With this, I am ending this theory. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to be notified about my future videos, please do subscribe. If you have anything to say about this video, please do say so in the comment section. This is Ashura the Demon signing off. Bye bye, guys.